Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. It's gonna be somewhat my last Dark Knight Soul Raid fights, but not really. It's basically just gonna be the fights that I haven't showed you yet on my main account, but just the more interesting ones, let's say, because last time I showed you when I killed Heroic 6 Baron Laughs, and since then we have progressed quite a bit and we're going to take a look at that. In this one we have the League of Anarchy team. We're using Joker here to have his passive that increases the dot damage, and we're going to use Harley. What makes this fight a little bit special is that other than generating power for super move at the start and pushing him back to the corner afterwards, we are simply not going to tag in and out because we can just combo interrupt. And even though we would want to ideally stun, because when we don't stun we deal like on average 4 to 5 times less damage, the damage that we deal on basic attack hits is still going to be decent, and it's something that we can do while we wait for power to generate. And when we have power, obviously we're going to stun and deal lots of damage. I'm not really sure how efficient this strategy is. A lot of times there's a lot of League of Anarchy strategies that people try to come up with, and at the end of the day the one where you just have a stun character like Arkham Knight Batman or Praetor Batman and tag Harley in proves to be as good or even better than all the other situations, but this one did me decent. It's a pretty high amount of damage, though I think we could have reached close to it, if not to that same amount with the normal League of Anarchy team, 1.6. Again, at this point with League of Anarchy, after you have them built, after you have their star rating up and all that stuff, it's going to be something that depends on their passive attack that they get from the artifacts. And for the artifacts that I'm going to use on most teams, I'm going to use level 6 Dark Metal cards and a level 8 Jokerized Batrank. When I use Beta Club on characters, that's gonna be it for the third artifact, and when I don't, I'm gonna use a level 3 Hand of Zatanna for some more passive stats. We're going to have a real quick Grodd plus Brainiac fight. Beta Club on Grodd will give us a little attack damage increase. This on 3 times speed, but we'll have another fight with Grodd here, so that's why I put it on 3 times speed. We just combo interrupt at this point. We just bully this man in the corner. We have high dot values, we have lethal attack damage from Brainiac, we have lethal attack damage from Robin. That's all there is to it. And yeah, Flash and Regen Matrix I guess wouldn't have been too bad if I actually needed them. And I put a snippet of before the fight screen there, so you can see that he has 2 billion health actually. You'll see at the end why you need to know the amount of health of this man. So over here we have Manta plus Green Lantern plus Classic Wonder Woman. Classic Wonder Woman is to give us more crit damage, and Green Lantern is there in order to allow us to have the shield so we don't have to combo interrupt. And the shield is going to be amazingly high in this one, and it's actually not gonna run out until the end of the fight. We're going with full Dark Knight's artifact setup, and we have the level 8 Jokerized Batranks on Manta. And it's gonna do very well with the Jokerized Batrank because they are going to give him +2 fast attack hits, putting him at 4 fast attack hits. At this point they give +3 fast attack hits, but that's a thing that they have yet to fix in the game, because no character can bypass 4 fast attack hits except for Martian Manhunter, which can go all the way up to 5. So that's garbage in that regard, but 2 fast attack hits is not too bad, and on top of everything else we're going to get the passive of it, which allows us to deal a certain value of damage, which is dependent on the amount of damage we already deal on basic attack hits. And you might be like, Sigval, still with those artifacts my Manta is doing so much less damage than this. Are you hacking, Sigval? Nah, it's Manta's passive still, because Manta's got the passive rights that makes him deal increasingly higher damage against a certain character if he only hits that character, and that's what makes him deal damage. That passive has a second effect where the effectiveness of it is tripled against Aquaman characters. So that's why we deal enormous amounts of damage over here. Absolutely insane amounts of damage. I'm using the special 2 because I don't find the special 1 reliable to apply the Jokerized Venom on it. I don't need to use third special, and it's more expensive. I don't need the stun. In the special 2 I don't need the burning, but it's gonna be fine. And I don't know why, but I'm combo interrupting so well when I know I have the Green Lantern shield. I mean, obviously I'm combo interrupting well because I can't get hit, but normally when you see it go down 2 times, it means that if this was a normal combo interruption, I would have failed. If it hits me only once, it means that even without the shield, I would have been able to actually do that combo interruption successfully. And boy, that happens quite a lot. I mean, we just failed one there because it ticked 2 times, but whenever I have the shield and I know I can't fail it, I actually don't fail it. As soon as the shield goes away, I start to panic and to lose it. Maybe I should put something on the screen so that it doesn't show me how much I have left of the shield, and maybe I'll combo and shot better. But yeah, we managed to do 2 billion damage with Manta and the not so demanding team that he has. And we got unusual gameplay, because I'm using the artifact I paid real money for. So here comes the more frustrating part. This is gonna be on 4 times speed, because you've already seen this exact same fight. This is not gonna be the exact same fight, it's gonna be the exact same team, going in here again, trying again to kill this dude and trying to not get unusual gameplay. Now there's a little bit of a problem with this. Or to not get unusual gameplay, you have to have 1 minute past of the fight. And you need to have 1 character killed. It's okay with a timer because we almost exhausted the entire timer on the previous fights, but with 1 character killed it's gonna be a little bit of a problem. So I'm doing my best to have the absolute best gameplay with Manta and deal damage as fast as possible, so we have some time left. Right now we're going to get our Silver Green Lantern killed, but we can't really because there's not much time, and I tag Manta at the last moment trying to squeeze in that additional damage, and we're barely not gonna make it with 3 million health left. So the unusual gameplay error did not cost me only 1 fight, but it cost me 2 additional fights. Because we had the first fight where we replayed it, we one-shot it, and oh boy, unusual gameplay. Are you hacking Sval? No! I'm using the artifact I paid money for, and I'm getting punished for paying you money. Second fight, I failed because I'm trying to not get unusual gameplay, and third fight has to be done. A little bit of a frustrating experience over there. Now we have Boss Black Adam. We're going to use the Raven Mr. Freeze team. We have level 9 Beta Club on Mr. Freeze, and we have a Raven with Dark Metal cards and Power Girl with Jokerized Battering for the passive stats. Managed to stun his ass. We're going to sit here a bit, watch the dot values fly up. Power Girl is never a good choice here. I don't know why I still put it. I'm like, oh, Power Girl is available, let's put her in there. But with the Mr. Freeze team, you don't use that much power, so you don't struggle that much with power generation. It actually decreases your damage in the long run because you're spending less power. And the more power you spend, the more damage Mr. Freeze is gonna get. Now he's sitting at 1 health because dot damage can't kill him. I'm actually going to let him kill my Mr. Freeze so we can avoid unusual gameplay. And Raven did a little bit of a bug there at the end. I got scared, but thankfully the fight registered. Now we're going to use again Grodd plus Brainiac against the Black Lightning fight here. And because he's half health, I'm going to use Jokerized Battering on Grodd because I wanted to further prove a point as we usually do around here. So in the previous fight, I said that there's not much of a difference between a level 1 and a level 70 special 1 ability, because in the first fight in the previous video I had a level 1 Grodd special 1, and in the second fight I have a level 70 Grodd special 1, and it did almost the same damage. Now you are like, well, Sigval, because in the second fight you used Beta Club instead of Jokerized Battering, so your overall attack was a little bit lower, and yeah, fair point. I definitely do agree with that point, but at the same time, that doesn't change the fact that upgrading specials does almost nothing. So he's over there from the special one, 5.8 million. No, 15 million, my bad, 15.8 million. And keep in mind, we have 1 additional level in Jokerized Battering compared to the previous fight that I've shown you. So in the previous one where I had the level 1 special, it was 13 million, or close to 13 million. And yet again, I had a lower level artifact, so we have like 4,000 more attack here. So yet again, when I do a video on a character that I have half-assed built, and it's like a level 40 legendary character, well, Sigval, no wonder she's doing no damage, she's only level 40. If you had higher level specials, she would do so much more damage. No, you're wrong. You're just wrong. It barely changes the thing. And keep in mind, over here it's a 2 billion difference or something like that, because we got the lethal attack damage factor in there as well. The more damage it deals normally, the more damage is going to be increased. So if it's something like dealing 500k damage. Expect it if fully maxed out and fully upgraded to deal like 600k damage or 700k damage at best. So it's still gonna be garbage, but slightly better garbage, okay? Now we have the room temperature IQ team yet again here. You shouldn't normally use this team because you can use two of them in the same team. Preferably not Kim-Flan, Sakomen and Deathstroke in the same team. You can pair up and laughs with either one of them. But you should under no circumstance use three of them, except if you have all of them available and you're out of fights, it's your last fights. And even still, I'm literally dealing the same amount of damage, or maybe even lower than if I use, let's say, only Battle Lapse and Deathstroke, because Deathstroke gets more time to shine. And Kim-Flan Sakomen is not doing too well on this team, because all he does is deal percentage shell damage that's very expensive to deal, because his third special is gonna be 8 power bars, and eating up the time in which Deathstroke clones could deal damage. Now we're going to spam special 2 here with Deathstroke and not let her do anything until she has super move, because we want her to hit Deathstroke with that. There we go. Deathstroke got hit, 41 mil. I've been saying for so long that I'm gonna change the build on Deathstroke. Like, currently I have a damage dealer build, except for the fact that we get defense. I wanna get the defense out because it makes me not die in a lot of situations where Deathstroke should die. And the defense on it does not go over for the clone, so it doesn't affect the clone's survivability. Get his clone in here. I'm going to just combo interrupt her all the way to the corner so we can start spamming special 2. It's kind of late for the clone. That's a problem. Like, when I have 1 minute left on the clock or like 50 seconds left on the clock, I already tag out the first clone to get a second clone in there to start dealing some damage. So yeah, we're kind of short on time on this one. Another special 2 in there. Combo interrupt again. Another special 2. Combo interrupt it again. Into another special 2. And yeah, we're kind of struggling with energy here, but I was like, okay, just keep that clone in there. Let's see how far it is from maximum efficiency. There we go, 27. And this should be the last special 2, I think. Yep, 3.7, that's the last lingering amount of percentage shell damage, and another special 2 in there for base Deathstroke. So yeah, the room temperature IQ team, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, literally does the same amount of damage I would have done with Battle Lapse and Deathstroke alone. Now with boss Shazam over here, he was a bit weird, because I did reduce his armor with classic Superman, but considering the damage I did, the armor reduction didn't apply. And I know he's immune to armor pierce. It says on the character card when you enter the boss. But immune to armor pierce, as far as I'm aware, or at the very least as far as it used to work, or at the very least as far as I misunderstood it, worst case scenario, it meant that you can't deal armor pierce damage with basic attack hits if you have armor pierce talents, or with specials if they have an armor pierce property, for example, Banshee third special. But reducing his defense is something that should have been totally possible as far as I was aware. But apparently not, because this Mr. Freeze, even though it might not seem like it, it's hitting on a 75% defense Shazam, because the dot damage that you would see on a jump attack would be not be 30 something mil, would be 200 mil damage, because that's how it actually goes. You also might be like, well, Sigel, how does that affect the dot damage? It's dot damage. What does it have to do with defense? It has to do, because the dot damage that we deal is based on the amount of damage that we deal on our basic attack hit. And our basic attack hit is heavily reduced by defense. Yeah, I could have played this better. The one shot here was definitely possible. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to have to use Anarchy to do a little bit of a cleanup here. Not the end of the world, not ideal at the same time. So yeah, well, that being said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed Dark Knight Soul Raids, and hope you got yourself a Dark Mel card and you got as far as you wanted to without any boss sitting on 1 health. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye! And yeah, as far as the rewards go for this, dudes,